Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Friday edition of the weekly Steelchair. Where is it a fun show? Yes. Will it be routine? No, because my back's fucked. Ailey's gonna tell you some things, some entertainment, some peak, but we're it's all doom and gloom from the madness. But we're here to talk our doom and gloom and madness, which is pro wrestling. So we're here to really strike your faces with a fist of wisdom. But welcome everybody. Hope you're all doing well. It is of course your host, the creator, the owner of the channel, Reece, joined by my ever-present co-host, Ailey. Sadly, if you do watch the YouTube shorts, I know a lot of you do, by the way, so thank you so much. We were supposed to have a special guest on tonight. Unfortunately, she's not available. That's not her fault. Life does catch you like a bitch. She will be here next week, though. So, we will have another with us next week. So, it is one of our regular viewers, by the way. So, it's even more
Nice.
fun. So, there you go. Just saying that ahead of time.
Good
James,
stuff.
how are you? Good content, by the way. I watched your video.
They
It
are
was
prepared
really...
for a lecture, though, right? Like they know what we're about.
They watch our stuff, trust me. They're
Just last time we had a
aware.
guest on, you know, things went well.
The last time we had a guest on, to be fair, he's skapoot, a hoot, kaput. But hey
Yeah,
ho,
I've not even
but
seen him since. We really
I know,
offended him. What's
I
up,
know.
people? We're back
And
in our.
Catherine,
This is
and
becoming a
Catherine,
pretty regular slot for us, to be fair. I mean, ever since I got
I
Fridays
quite
off
like
work.
it.
Yeah,
I quite
Friday
like it.
night. Friday night
How are you?
Steelchair. You know that I've had better weeks.
Yeah, that's not for me to tell.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately,
don't want to. I don't want to make
horrible
this
for me. My
story
back's fucked.
time.
But how
Yeah,
are you?
I don't want to make this like medical story time. Basically,
Go for it. This is
Saturday I
medical
ended up
time
at
with.
the hospital for an out-of-hours appointment,
Mm-hmm.
and they told me I
Yeah,
might have had Brock Lesnar illness, which meant that like I was going to come on here if that was the case and do a really funny gag because obviously like you talk about someone hating someone for long enough, you know.
it's harder for you. It's
Speak
harder
on
for
your
you because it's not just Brock Lesnar.
speak on your enemies and bear their burdens, but it's not diverticulitis. It is just a
It's
back
not.
spasm. I was back in hospital on Monday,
Oh, good.
and they did bloods. Yeah, I was admitted. They did bloods. They did
Mhm.
an X-ray, and they worked out that it was nothing but a back
Glad you.
spasm.
I'm
The
glad
back
you're.
spasm's
They're
now
not
crept
good.
up to my neck, which is absolutely lovely. So you know,
Mhm.
it's painkillers. It's this brand new. That's why
Yeah,
I've got the Tony Khan cosplay. Because obviously
Catherine
he
is
went.
gonna either defend this or she's gonna
He had,
come at you.
he had
Alex.
his neck brace at the NFL draft. So I thought, you know what, homage to a legend, especially because his company might soon be something of the past. But we'll talk about that. But other than my not good, very bad week, I still managed to gut things out. Didn't work Monday because I was still in
Good.
hospital
Good.
until Monday night. Worked Tuesday and Wednesday, gutted it out. I'm off now until like I think I've got 1 or 2 lessons this Sunday, and then I'm off for a week. So
Sorry. Take
nice week to
properly
sort of
recuperate. And your
recover.
streaming's been helping you as well, which is good. It's going really
Yeah,
well.
yeah. The streaming was taking my mind off it, but I've not streamed since I came out of the hospital. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about it, and yesterday I almost did.
I knew it was going to
Tony
happen.
Khan's wasn't pink, right?
No, it was
Case
all white.
dismissed. Case closed. Exactly. But yeah, I thought about streaming through the week.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen. I went for a short walk and was still in agony, and I was like, if I sit in this chair for that long, not with the correct posture. I mean, that's why I've bought this. Really, it's so that because if I
Yeah.
lean right back, it should correct my posture.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. It's not the most flattering of angles, but you know,
It'll,
yeah.
as long as you're here, as long as you're healthy, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah. How'd your week go? Probably better than mine.
No, horrible. I gotta watch what I say because people from my work watch this show. I found that out recently. A lot of people from work watch our podcast.
You got to be careful. You've got to be careful about like putting things out there. You know.
No. My boss watches. Basically, basically, it's been a very hard, long week. The work's changing like so much. Like a lot of our work is being split apart, and it's hard when I'm already under the cosh as is my back and shit. And don't worry, I'm not using the back as an excuse for this. I love this place. I'll always be on the Steelchair, back or no back, but it can be a lot. But work's just been exhausting. But this is my peaceful place. I love the relaxation. I can just come here for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes 3, depending on what we're doing.
Yeah,
and we just have a laugh, and that's what it's all about. And that's why I like being on this channel. It's why I love doing stuff like this. So, guys, I hope you're all well. I hope everyone that's watching is doing good. And put it this way, I've got people that watch. I've got people that watch this. I've got people that watch the World of Football podcast. And I've now got people watching the Weekly Armchair.
And you've not even sent any of them my way. That's shocking.
Whoa! I cannot. Hey. They are aware of you. A few folk in my work actually read your book, and they love it.
That's good, but like the book's one thing. Clout chasing's a daily thing. You got to chase. You got to be on the chase every single day. So remember, people, Princess Hill on TikTok. Anyone from Reese's work? You want to see this? You want to see the story behind this look today? I'm not going to get you to guess it, Reese, because I don't think you'd get today's one.
It's a fucking Gengar. That's what you are today. You fucking evil narcissist. I love it. I love it.
And what?
It's Gengar.
No. I have the toy.
Oh, that's criminal.
It's Wo Chien. I ended up getting Wo Chien from Paldea.
I'll let you off then. I'll let you off. Yeah, but yeah, people from work do watch it. But to be fair, they like that I'm honest, which is a shock.
Yeah, fair enough. But remember, everyone from Reese's work, go check me out. I'm more entertaining.
Yeah, please do.
Prettier. Do all that.
I'll agree at the second half. The first part, no, I can't. I cannot say that someone's more entertaining.
Well, we need to talk about something that was maybe more entertaining, maybe less entertaining. Obviously, less entertaining than this show, but more entertaining to some people than others. So once again, we're entering the chamber of public discourse, and we're going to talk about Bad Blood. We're going to talk about the review of Bad Blood. Well, we're not going to talk about a review. We're going to review Bad Blood. We're going to talk about it. Maybe not so much bell to bell, because there isn't a lot to say. Sort of bell to bell for some of the matches.
We're going to do the YouTube, Twitter discourse as well.
Yeah, well, you brought up to me something, because I'm not on Twitter. I was fairly unaware that people were unimpressed with the show.
There was a lot of mixed match opinion on it.
I wasn't offended. I thought it was a pretty good show, all things considered. So I am intrigued to hear like what the arguments are for.
I think mostly it was the fact is they got the show order wrong. It didn't live up potentially to the hype of the original, which is hard. Like no discredit in it, like the original concept.
I think if show order's the thing you go after, remember what happened at the end of Bad Blood.
The end definitely doesn't compromise the change, but it was a factor.
Yeah, well, the thing I think, because obviously we know that he has power. I think The Rock said he was coming out last.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that was a Hunter decision.
So I need to put in a comment that Reece would
lead
and embarrass me. The fact that you've reversed it.
Yeah, you can't embarrass him. Like, you know,
you know, the thing is like I'm that kind of human being where I actually just like whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm feeling, I say it. I actually don't care.
You're enough of a joke already. That no,
I'm not a joke. That's the thing is, I actually don't like. There's some people that I absolutely do care what they think about me. But anyone on YouTube or Twitter to a degree that I don't know and they just say shit about me, I actually don't care what they think. Their words are like their arsehole. They've all got one. It means fuck all.
Sure.
You guys, on the other hand, does mean something because you watch us. You actually engage with us every single bloody week. So I actually will listen to you guys. There's a difference. If you
Yeah.
don't watch us every single week, you barely know what we're about. I'm not going to realistically get on board with you, you know?
Unless, of course, this is your first time or your second time. We're all about casual fans, you know. I'm
Yeah,
a casual fan of wrestling,
Yeah.
so we can have
You know
casual
what I mean.
fans.
You
When
know
it
what I
comes,
mean, though. If it's like once in a
No,
if it's like
I
once
get,
in
I
a
get
blue
you.
moon,
It's
if
people who like join and then think they instantly know exactly like what you are.
like
and who you
for example, thinking that we're a lecture show. You have reached your 4 o'clock lecture. Let me remind you that I am
Yeah.
not qualified.
One match stood out overall. Yeah. I mean, we
There,
are
there,
going to
there
talk
was
about
only one.
that match, but you see, first I want to talk about like the actual, because the thing is, I think we're all in agreement that CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre was fantastic. That Hell in a Cell match was brilliant.
It did more for me than I was surprised. It was not like, and not, and this is going to sound weird by how I describe it, but it's not weird in my head. It was slightly what I expected, but also flipped it in a way that maybe it wasn't. So, like, I expected it to be violent and blooded.
Yeah.
Check. I expected the use of a weapon or weapons to an extent. Check.
Yep.
I expected at least to have a little bit of continuity to their overall story, but not go over the top. That
Really?
part, there was one part of it that I was like, maybe you didn't have
Is
to
it
go
the
too.
beef?
Yeah. No, I get it. Now I get it. They are very important. I'm not
Yeah.
dismissing that in any shape or
Their
form.
feud has basically been over the bracelet. I know that
Yeah.
it was initially about getting, like, Drew wanted CM Punk out of the company.
Yes.
If you're going to then develop the feud and make it all about a bracelet, having beat, to be fair, I was just relieved they weren't thumbtacks.
I was hoping that it was. I was hoping it was a bit more than the beats. Like, I would have liked
You wanted
it
real
if.
glass, didn't you?
No, I didn't
Cry
want
Me a River. You wanted real glass.
No, I didn't want glass. What I actually wanted was out that bag. I wanted. Now, this might sound genuinely bizarre, but just hear me out, folks.
Okay.
I did want some thumbtacks in there because it's traditional within a Hell in a Cell. Not a lot, but a little bit.
It's traditional within a mud show.
No, because there's been 3 separate Hell in a Cell matches with Mick Foley, and they all had thumbtacks.
Yeah, there's been like 50 Hell in a Cell matches, so it's not exactly tradition.
It's still tradition to the extreme.
Just as Mick Foley likes having tacks in his back, in his face, in his nose, in his eyes.
But he's a goat. So
he is, yeah, but let's just leave the thumbtacks to Mick Foley. Everyone else can just exist without.
But what I would have actually done instead of the bloody beads, I would have had pictures of AJ Lee and Larry the Dog inside it, with CM Punk cut out the image.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I think that would have been better as like a Titantron entrance thing or something that he brought to the ring before it started. Because
in front of his face.
Yeah, but the thing, I think that works at the start of a match if he came out with it and he was showing it off in front of his face. It doesn't work to be in a bag because
that match was a kid match and did not meet expectations of what Swerve and Hangman did. I find the realistic expectation, and this is just where I'm coming from in the slightest, I'm actually not going to compare both. I'm not going to compare Punk and McIntyre to Swerve and Hangman.
I think what you're asking, though, I think if you are expecting it to match, all right, is basically Swerve and Hangman was amputating an arm, so you wanted Punk and Drew to amputate a leg.
Basically, in the sense of it, I wanted them to go. Basically, the one thing that Swerve and Hangman really lived up to, in the sense of like both men are at the point now where they really cannot be in the same place as each other. One of them physically has to go. It's like you just cannot be there.
I know where
McIntyre
they
and
both
Punk,
can go. They can both go fuck themselves, quite frankly. But
I'm not saying that, but I'm hoping that Jay White sends Hangman to hell on Saturday. But what I was going to say in the sense of it is, instead of just comparing both, in the sense that I'd rather not, they're two separate companies. They both had their own separate match. They only have one underlying similarity. The underlying similarity is Punk and McIntyre, despite the fact they are there to do a job just like Swerve and Hangman are, yet the similarity is they cannot clearly be in the same room as each other anymore based on what they're expected to do.
Yeah.
They have that genuine hatred. That's the similarity.
I'm going to say this much about, because you say you don't want to compare them. I think there's a really direct comparison to make.
Go on.
Because obviously, I imagine people are going to be in two camps about what they thought I would think about this match. Because you either think that I'm an absolute fucking Jessie, that I'm a proper sissy bitch, and I cannot handle blood in the tiniest way. Like, I throw up if someone fucking cuts a nail, like fucking chips their nail or something. You must have just like the most fucking prissy little dick. Just like you won't watch anything with blood.
Please don't chant sissy bitch. One. Please don't chant sissy bitch.
That's camp one. Fuck it. Do it. All right. But camp one is that. Camp two is you think I would love this anyway because it's WWE and that I'm going to make excuses for it. And the thing is, I think there's a direct split. And that's the thing. That's where I'm like, obviously, like, I don't want to sound really arrogant and say, like, there's loads of people wondering it. But anyone watching might go, especially if they know me by now, they'll be like, oh, she's either a massive WWE mark or this match, she hated it as well.
In other words, you're really proving, like we intend to be on this show, you intend to be unbiased and just fair.
Yeah, well, here's what I liked about the Hell in a Cell between Punk and Drew.
Okay.
Everything that they used, every single weapon that was used, I was on the fence about the chain because, but I ultimately went, you know what? Yeah, I suppose that could be there. It was all diegetic. It was all included in the scenery. Everything that they used is stuff that I would expect to see in a ring. The same way that if you're playing a fighting game, you expect to be able to pick up things. So imagine it's like Street Fighter. You expect to be able to pick up things on the side of the
environment.
Yeah. You don't want to be able to pick up a rocket launcher in Street Fighter. But if they're fighting on a road and then like one of the cars is like up on a cinder block, you would expect to be able to somehow get that cinder block and use it. You would expect to be able to take some sort of metal from the road. Obviously, the bin is very clearly open to you. When you put that sort of expectation of mine into this match, it checked out. The toolbox is there for a reason. The chain, I ultimately decided was okay because the chain is probably there so that they can chain the door closed. That's what I worked at. It was basically, if the door is faulty, they have a chain to keep it closed. That's where I went, okay, they have a chain.
Which is standard.
But the toolbox is fine. Tables are in every match. Chairs are in every match. And Drew brought the beads. So when you talk about, okay, well, what about the beads? Well, Drew brought those. So we're fine. The steps
you're still maintaining about continuity, which is fine. I would have just went a little bit extra. The
wall was used, which was great. You know, the cell wall was used. Mm-hmm. Everything that was used in this match, you've already got it there, and it's not like all of a sudden, you know, in the Hangman and Swerve match, they were just accessing shit you just wouldn't have in all of the AEW death matches. They just access shit that they shouldn't have. So why does John Moxley have a fork? You know, like, why the fuck are there toothpicks? You know, why is there that? Why is there big fucking skewers? Why is there fire? Why are we getting to see all this stuff? And obviously, like, well, yeah, the wrestler brought it. It's like, yeah, but where did the wrestler fucking bring it from? You know, like when
Okay,
someone comes
okay,
out
I
with
see.
spray paint, it's like, why the fuck did you come out to the ring with spray paint? Was that your attack plan? Was that your strategy?
Okay.
You know, it
Alright,
doesn't
okay.
make any sense. Or when they go under the ring and they're searching for something, and it's something like fucking brass knuckles. They're like, why are they there? They shouldn't be there. Because why the hell do the ring crew need brass knuckles? They don't. So that's what I hate about AEW's death matches. But it's a factor. The other thing is they go way too far. But
Okay.
with this, the violence and the blood, and there was a lot of blood, and I was actually impressed with Drew McIntyre being able to sort of take that toolbox shot the way that he did. And it made sense for Drew to bleed that much off of that. And it's a spot that we so rarely see.
I had one massive problem with it.
Go on,
One
then.
massive problem. The referee.
No. Because here's the thing, right? Good commentary saved that. And I know the fans booed it when he did it.
Yeah,
but
like
this is once again.
I get the commentary certainly obviously has got involved, but for me personally, you're in a match where frankly, if men are gonna bleed or women are gonna bleed, just let them fucking go until it's over. The referee does not need to bring a towel and get into their faces. He should just be there to count the fall or the submission, not wipe their face. I get that might sound mental, but for me, like,
No,
you're in a fight, you're not going to
I
stop and go,
get
here, by the way, hold on, let me just
I
rub you down here
get that
before you
it
carry on
takes
fighting.
people out of it, but this is where I'm going to praise a man that you hate, because
It's a bit
Corey
sloppy.
Graves nailed it. Corey Graves nailed it. I think it was Corey anyway. He said that the referee has to wipe the blood away because it's getting in his eyes. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? Fair. Because that's like, well, that's like in the UFC when you've got a cut over the eye. Your eye has to reopen. Because they're not going to let you fight with one eye. So I'm fine with that. The towel thing didn't bother me, honestly. And again, you can say it's because I'll defend every WWE thing, but as I say, that's how I felt about it.
I just think we didn't necessarily. I think if it got way out of control, then yes, then fine. But it wasn't over out of control that he's actually impaired vision, so he still could have kept going. I think the only thing is, like, if he really hadn't had the commentator speaking there, it definitely would have got a lot worse. But that, to be fair, that was the only pretty much thing I didn't like, was just that the referee just stay out the fucking way. But again, I didn't think it was definitely the best match on the card by not even like a landslide. It was Grand Canyon level.
Yeah.
Like compared to everything else that was on this card, nothing came close. And I get it.
I would argue that AEW shows, for me, have been like that as well.
In what way?
Because there'll be one match in the middle of the card that will stand out and be so much better, and everything else has to follow it.
Yeah, and we know who's mostly involved in those matches.
Was it Double or Nothing? They opened with MJF versus Hechicero.
Yeah.
And that was, or Forbidden Door, sorry.
That was Forbidden Door, yeah. Hechicero, yeah, versus MJF.
Nothing came close to how good that match was.
I would honestly say as well, when you look at it from All In as well, like Ospreay versus, like, it was a good show, but when you actually look at it, it was hard to follow Ospreay versus MJF. It was hard to follow that. Like, they actually got it.
This is how we build cards these days. We get one match that is
a standout,
and then the rest just kind of fills in around it. It's been WWE's thing this whole year. Like, and that's me saying that. It's been WWE's thing this whole year to have one match.
And the worst thing is that the one match was on first. Now, I'm not going to say in terms of like the circumstance of it, but obviously we did get an absolute intriguing return, and I've got my own take on that. like my
We
own
will talk about it, yeah.
twisted saga of what I hope happens following it. But me personally, I think you still could have had that same impact opening the show. I think if you had that following the shock rematch, like the shock match on the first match of the night, it's still gonna have the same impact. But the Hell in a Cell should not. I don't think the Hell in a Cell shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I think the Hell in a Cell still should open. Still should have main evented. Sorry.
I understand that, and I think you gave people a crevice to overcome with the expectation.
Very.
I also think that, once again, like I said, I think The Rock would be to blame because he wasn't going to come out in the middle of the card. He wanted to be the final visual. He wanted to be the last thing.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the final boss. And it's
And that
really
makes sense.
sad.
Yeah.
But it's really sad based on what we've heard about The Rock. And we'll go on to that when we talk about it. But when we're talking about the rest of this card, because obviously Punk gets the win, I think we both said that had to happen.
Yeah, we did.
It did have to happen.
He had to
in terms of what's next, there's a very clear direction following Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see CM Punk beat Gunther. I would like to see Seth Rollins win the Rumble. I would like for them to do a double turn. I'm not sure if it would count as a double turn, but I think right now if Punk feuded with Rollins, maybe it would be babyface on babyface. Basically, I want heel Punk.
I think Punk's a bit of a. I don't think Punk knows what he is. I think the crowd's just there.
I think especially after the Hell in a Cell, I want heel Punk. Because Rollins can easily just keep doing what he's doing because it's working. And he's clearly still a babyface because he's come back and dealt with Bronson Reed, and he will deal with Bronson Reed in the ring.
I actually hope, in a way, Bronson Reed wins that feud.
I think if Rollins didn't have Punk to go into, and you know,
it does more. It doesn't.
Yeah.
When you look at Bronson Reed right now, Bronson Reed's been on TV the whole time. I'm not a fan of the whole bloody meat chants, fucking disgrace. But he's actually, when you look at how a bigger man's being used recently in WWE, they've really struggled with big men for quite a while. He's actually been okay. When you actually look at how he's worked, he's certainly used his size a lot more. He's been more. He's a lot better on the mic. He's certainly improved on the mic. He's got more confidence. And also, when you look at what he's done in the ring, outside the ring, even outside buildings, Bronson Reed has been presented like somebody they want to get behind in the right way. Seth Rollins has been absent.
Considering they brought him back as Miz's bodyguard.
Yeah, true. Obviously, exactly. Now, obviously, Rollins has been absent for quite a while. You need to, and it's quite easy to reintroduce Rollins, but even so, he still needs to be reintroduced.
Yeah.
The main projection absolutely is
the Rumble is a funny thing because you could have Rollins win it on a
bad momentum. Yeah, he wins. It'd be Bayley-esque, similar. I mean, they've both got the same clothing sense. So.
Oh yeah, but Seth Rollins would at least be interesting whereas this Bayley stuff.
I mean, the only thing that's interesting about Bayley is just how big she gets each show.
Yeah, I've got a parallel to draw with Bayley and someone else on the card, but
please tell me it's Mid Morgan. Please tell me it's Mid Morgan so I can slate her to bits.
No.
Tiffany Stratton's finished.
Yeah, I mean, so you got any other thoughts on Punk? Well, yeah, let's lay this one out. So Punk Rollins at Mania, I think, is what you do.
I think that's the aim. If not, they're going to stretch it further.
Do you? Because here's how you capitalize on Drew, I think, and it's potentially really, really bad. But come with me here. If you want Drew McIntyre to profit off of this amazing momentum, he has to beat Cody Rhodes for the title.
I have another idea, and I am going to get potentially a lot of hate.
Go on, then.
I think Drew McIntyre's got to retire John Cena.
Okay.
Like, I think he should be. I know a lot of people have said it should be Randy Orton. I can see why. But I think, like you say, if you want to capitalize on something, we know next year's his last year or whatever in wrestling. I absolutely would capitalize in the best way. And I would have McIntyre retire him and then take the title. Similar to, in a way, in a comparative statement, Lesnar ends the streak. Lesnar wins the title versus Cena. McIntyre batters Cena, beats Cody for the title.
Yeah. I don't see how Drew can just kick about on Raw now.
Netflix,
because
Netflix can have like whatever they want with it. To be fair, they can do whatever they want with him.
It's like Punk beat him. Like it's done.
They did.
And Drew isn't hanging about for an issue with Rollins because Rollins and Punk. That's now the story. McIntyre has to get out of the way.
McIntyre's already had his beef with Rollins, and he failed to do the job in the end.
Well, he ultimately failed. He did the job.
Even though he won, he ultimately lost. So frankly,
yeah, but that set up the Punk stuff, you know.
Exactly.
So. What is weird is we didn't get Priest Rollins.
I think we're kind of glad we didn't get that because look at what they're doing right now with Priest. They're a bit unsure.
Well, because we go on to that. There's the other individual, and Greg and I were talking about it. Do you think that maybe?
See.
Do you want to have? Yeah, I don't hate it.
And I would do it as the Scottish Psychopath when he returned with Ziggler, the same way, like the same how it was just that aggressive edge to him, like that type of ilk. I like that version of him.
Right. So the parallel that I'm going to draw, because now we're kind of off the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
The parallel I'm going to draw is between Bayley and Damian Priest.
Okay, now I'm very intrigued. Go on. If you're cooking something here, it better be a roast dinner.
Okay. They're kind of overrated and shit, to be fair. But anyway.
All right. Let me.
That may be one of the worst opinions I've ever had, but I really just
don't. I will never.
Don't fight with the roast dinner. Only at Christmas.
Only at Christmas. Let's do it this way. I want you to cook me a beautifully done lamb casserole.
Okay.
So let's have this. Give me the main course.
Okay, fine. All right. So my thing about Priest and Bayley is I've gone off both of them since pretty much WrestleMania. Bayley, it was right at WrestleMania, and Priest, it was not quite Backlash. I enjoyed Damian versus Jay, for what that was. But after that, when I realized that, okay, so he's just gonna keep fighting Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
Bayley's got to keep having issues with Damage Control, who, have stayed out for hair now. My problem is that neither of them turned with good reason for them to turn. Neither of them became babyface because it was a good time to become babyface. They both became babyface out of necessity of someone else turning heel on them. That's great for the moment that you get. It's superb. I mean, the Bayley face turn is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
She basically pretended not to know Japanese. And then when she replies to Io in Japanese, that's brilliant. That's genuinely a brilliant moment because they are dumbfounded. The Judgment Day turn was shite.
The Judgment Day turn was pretty much it was similar, funnily enough, to the whole Edge thing prior. It was jealousy of who gets control.
Yeah, but it was shite.
And we saw it coming months ago. We said it was the exact same thing. He has
Balor comes down and costs Priest against Gunther. Right.
And you know what's even worse? That match did nothing for either of them.
No.
Like it didn't. Like it was like Gunther gets his world title, but He won it out of interference. That's not good for his weight.
Yeah, but so the other thing is obviously it feeds into Priest versus Balor.
100%.
What the fuck is the point of the feud? Because Priest just won.
Yep. Pretty sure we said that, like, collectively, the Balor had to win this.
Balor had to win that. Otherwise, Judgment Day is just... Who gives a fuck? Who cares? They
look
lost
at that match.
They turned on a guy, kicked him out of the group, and then fucking lost.
Whilst being tag team champions, whilst Priest has got nothing.
It's like Felipe Coutinho at Bayern Munich. Getting fucking punted out on fucking loan and winning the Champions League.
Wow.
That's what it is.
I'll grant you that. That's a good one. That's a good one. People that hate German football are going to hate that. I love that.
Yeah, they took a really fucking strong part and went, nah, we're better than you. And he's just gone and beat them.
Yeah, instant regret syndrome is what I call it. IRS.
What do Judgment Day do now? Judgment Day is now Finn Balor and Jenny McDonough, who have tag titles that don't mean a thing because there's no one to fight for them.
Yet.
Fucking Carlito.
Mid.
Who is beyond past his expiration date.
Mid.
And
one we can't name yet because we've not reviewed that part yet.
Yeah, and then the other fucking two.
Yeah, Dip and Dummy. Sorry, Lardarse and Dummy who can't get his leg round that fucking cable right.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I don't have much to say about the actual fucking match. I think it's ridiculous that Damian Priest no-sold 3 coup de grace. And okay, you'd be like, oh, but you registered them. It's like, yeah, but you fucking no-sold them. He completely no-sold them. He didn't show. He should have lost this match. And the thing is, the finish would have been great because it was basically you were trying to say like, oh, this is like the sadistic, evil Finn Balor. So it should have been coup de grace at the back, coup de grace at the back, coup de grace at the back,
head,
coup de grace at the chest or head. I don't think he could hit it on the head.
Don't worry, Catherine. I agree as well. I used to love Carlito. Growing up, I used to love Carlito with Chris Masters. Great work.
Who gives a fuck if he comes out now? Who cares?
He's just like what's the film character? He's like that's it because we've all seen Marvel films. Ironically,
yeah.
Spider-Man: Homecoming, when Peter Parker randomly ends up at the deli. And he talks to the deli guy who is just sitting there complimenting his Aunt May in Italian, which, by the way, I'm not going to lie, I was impressed, even though it's actually Mexican, but still, he went for a full Italian and failed. It's basically just that. Carlito is the deli owner. He's just there chatting random stuff. Nobody wants to give a fuck. Yeah. And then when the minute he dies, we all celebrate.
But also, I mean, here's the real kicker on Carlito. Right?
But this is the thing, Catherine. This is where I disagree. Where and how is Damian Priest in this circumstance too hot to lose to Finn Balor? Because I get in the sense of where you're coming from. At the moment, Damian Priest is being booked strong, but also Finn Balor right now is the one who's got to win this one because of the fact he's made the change. He's made the impact. You've basically just gave this guy the keys to the castle and then said, actually, what we've given you is the keys to my conservatory that was built at 2 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, so I would challenge anyone to tell me how it's not just John Cena turning up, like John Cena in the Nexus. How does this not just feel like John Cena in the Nexus right now?
Or anyone from WCW came in during the invasion angle.
Because, let's just say it, Priest
Where's Carlito? No one knows, James.
Won every fucking time. He has won every confrontation. Every confrontation you think he didn't win, every time on Raw you think, and Judgment Day, you know when Judgment Day laid both of them out. They were fine the next week. Judgment Day haven't had a win.
Except one. I think in terms of out the victory, I'd say Rhea Ripley's more of the winner than. Actually, no. Yeah, because at least Rhea Ripley's actually doing her job. She's actually selling the injury.
Yeah. When Rhea came out limping, what I'm saying is Priest has won every time. Priest has never shown the effects of an attack.
Yeah,
he gets laid out, gets coup de grace, and next week he's upright, absolutely fine, ready to do it again. And that's when he gets beaten down, which isn't every week, by the way. And yeah,
he's not even.
He
is. There's just one problem. This isn't 2006, 2008 anymore. He isn't funny anymore.
The other thing about Carlito is he turned on Rey Mysterio.
And he got no heat.
Where's the resolution?
He didn't even get any heat.
Yeah, but why didn't Carlito and Rey Mysterio? I mean, okay, I know why they didn't, because it's not 2007. But why didn't Carlito and Rey Mysterio have a blow-off on a pay-per-view to at least solidify? Because it may basically Carlito,
or even a backstage brawl,
I don't like Rey Mysterio anymore. I'm not in the LWO anymore. I'm in the Judgment Day now. You're like, okay, cool. I'll be honest, this has a bit of a vibe of just like you wouldn't understand, Dad. This is a fake, like you wouldn't understand, basically. It had a real sort of like Carlito felt like Ray's son for a bit with that, because he just one day just went, nah, sod you. I like to wear black and be evil. And so he does that. Andrade steps up and goes, I respect Rey Mysterio. Makes no fucking sense, because Andrade never respected Rey Mysterio. He did it as a fucking ruse. He said that he respected him as a lie and then laid him out. That's storytelling from, 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
2019 US title, I think we're going?
Yeah.
That made no sense. Carlito going to Judgment Day made no sense. There was no fucking payoff. And now Andrade isn't affiliated with Ray, isn't affiliated with the LWO. He's just having a series with Carmelo Hayes, which is fine. The series between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes is good.
It just makes no sense.
What did any of it mean to Aztec? What this weird Azteca warfare type thing that they're doing? It literally never ends. No one ever wins, but crucially, Priest never loses. He never actually he never gets humbled. He gets laid out for a week, and you know that it's like when John Cena was laid out by the Nexus, and next week you'd be like, "He'll be back."
I'm gonna throw something at you, and I want to see how you do here. Chat. You're the same. You can either make a decision, or you can go with Ailey's choice. So I'm going to throw one at you. Do you A, end the Jericho-verse, B, end the Latino-Mexican-verse in WWE, or C, do you make Obafemi WWE champion?
Okay, well, I don't think Obafemi is ready yet.
Oh, I would still do it.
But
here we go. Jericho verse or the Latin Mexican verse? What one do you end right now? Because they're both fucking stupid.
Yeah, but you think it's really, really hard for me, this one. It's not, because when AEW do stupid, nonsensical shit, I laugh. When WWE do stupid, nonsensical shit, I don't get it. But AEW to me is just the company of nonsense. So as much nonsense in AEW as possible all the time. Completely. So I would absolutely end the Judgment Day verse. And what I would have done, genuinely, I would have had Finn Balor win.
Mm-hmm.
And this should have been it. It should have been it. We go our separate ways now, because I've beaten you and you're not worth being in this group.
Catherine also says choice B. I'm going to... This is another thing as well, and this is where I'm at with it, and this is a major problem. One, they've ruined the absolute best creative decision I had when I said just make Dominic Mysterio head of the LWO. Cunts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we
Literally,
can still get that. We can still get that.
it means nothing now. They've ruined it.
We can still get there, though, when Ray comes back from his 57th injury and
Probably, but
Dom can come back. And
they had it and they ruined it still. But
I still think Dom's going to retire Ray at Mania this year.
Yeah, so do I. I think the worst thing now is this is the group that's been now. We don't hate the Judgment Day. We've actually
I quite
been very
liked
strong.
them for a while.
We've been very strong defenders.
I really liked them with Damian Priest in it. I think they had the right vibe. I think Priest, Rhea, Balor, JD
on their own. I think they ruined it the minute they added those two. I think it was better.
I think that 5 was absolutely fine. And the thing is, 5 is a perfect size for a stable. A stable can win, it can lose, it can have its ups and its downs and its tension. You did not need to split the Judgment Day because you clearly don't have plans for Finn Balor.
And the worst thing as well is because this group was so popular across the social discourse, you made the turn. You confuse your own judgment. You confuse the fan base, especially the Judgment Day. You confuse them, and the worst thing as well is you add somebody to the group that nobody gives a fuck about. No one gives a flying fuck.
Yeah, because this Liv Morgan. This Liv Morgan thing is all about stealing the heart of Dominic Mysterio.
Which is not worth the hell of beans.
It's like you just said, it makes Dominic Mysterio feel like this isn't Judgment Day. Like,
it's
Liv, Rhea, and Dominic could be having this issue away from Judgment Day. Especially because now Priest clearly doesn't care.
Yeah.
Priest's issue was with Finn Balor. Priest doesn't have an issue with Dominic betraying Rhea.
He doesn't care about JD McDonough either.
We dealt with that in a mixed tag match. We're even. The fuck? They also won that.
Comfortably, I might add.
And Rhea only lost this because of a botch. Well, Rhea didn't lose. Rhea was meant to lose. But she actually only won this match because of a botch.
Oh, yeah. Let's dissect that. But first of all,
that's not a great way to return. That's not a great way to come back to WWE.
No. One thing I want to say, first of all, it is nice in the concern the fact that she was genuinely fucked over in Australia health-wise. It is nice to see Raquel Rodriguez back as a heel.
It was lovely to see her, but you could tell that wasn't what was. She looked lost.
Yeah, I think they just told her to go out there. I actually don't think they even planned. Even though we kind of saw it coming in the way, like, work, I'm not faster, I'm not stronger, I work smarter, all that nonsense. We kind of figured out that means she's got outside help. No one's stupid enough. If you didn't think she had outside help, you're a dumbass. Absolutely, we knew Raquel was returning. It's nice to see her back, considering what she went through. She is far better as a heel. It could have been. But they really got it so wrong. And also, she got caught by the referee.
See, because the thing is, right? See if they really wanted the heat. If they really wanted heat. I don't know.
Wrestling, actually, to be fair, Chris Jericho is one of the greatest, but to be fair, I wouldn't even put Raquel or I wouldn't even put either of them in a suck list.
Yeah.
I would just put them in one really needs to just move on now, and the other we'll figure out when she gets there. I don't know what the plan is for Raquel.
And I really appreciate the long-term storytelling of these two, not only being friends, but former tag champs. This, if we're going to have the women's tag team earrings as a belt, at least have stories play off it. Liv and Raquel as babyfaces were champions, so I think 2-time champions.
I've got a good name. I've got a good name for the women's tag team titles. I just call them the Pat Butcher Heirlooms.
Yeah, fair. So, but the thing, if you really wanted the heat, if you really wanted Judgment Day and this thing to still be better, because the thing is, it's not, because now Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez have to fight.
Yeah.
And
we know who wins.
They had a great match in NXT, but obviously Rhea's going to win. Obviously.
Rhea's going to crush her.
So what you should have done for the heat is go outside. Rhea goes to like mock Dominic the way. By the way, just so there's no double standard here, it's dangerous to have someone hanging upside down for that long.
I was going to say
he shouldn't have been hanging upside down. It should have been his wrist tape that got stuck or something.
Not only that, I thought they tried to get more out of it and tried to be funny by the fact that they had Raquel go up to the ref cam and the referee's just letting it off. And I'm like,
is it like as much funny? As the pinata visual was funny,
it was funny.
Tape. No, I still don't want to see someone hanging upside down. I'm like, that's horrible. What if that breaks?
At least we'll know who's the stronger Mysterio.
True. But at the same time, like, you know, he'd be hanging like that, you know, wrist tapes through the bars or whatever. Then just whack him with a candlestick. But then what I would have done is Rhea's finished that, drops the stick, goes to get back into the ring, does it like via the turnbuckle, and I would have had Finn Balor, who's been behind the barricade on the opposite side,
pillar down.
I'd have had him hit the shotgun drop kick on Rhea Ripley into the stairs.
Yeah, that would work.
And then scramble away over the opposite barricade.
Without
or hide on the ring or whatever. And then I would have had Liv win by count out.
Yeah. They've really got
where count out's the thing, actually?
Yeah, count outs are still a thing.
Yeah, it should be. It was only a shark cage match.
The only thing that's not in effect is Dominic Mysterio. Supposed to be.
Because if Finn had shotgun drop kicked Rhea into the stairs,
doesn't matter how big she is, she's gonna feel that thing.
Priest would have won the match, but Balor would have been the more talked about thing.
Balor wins.
Because what if Rhea then came out with the shoulder cast thing again? Because it was a drop kick. Imagine her injured shoulder that we know that she separated, like bang, right in it. That fucking hurt. Okay, I forgot about that. But what if her injured shoulder went like bang, right into the steps, and she comes out on Raw the following night, like the fucking cast back on her arm, and Priest just because what if Balor's then not in the building, and Priest is just like, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
But we've already had that ruined now as well. I like the idea, by the way. No, I like the pitch, but it's already ruined now anyway because obviously, the Undertaker's obviously said that they're going completely their own separate ways. Yeah,
it doesn't feel right. Like why? Also, like, you know what's going to happen though. Like, in a week or 2 weeks, Finn Balor's going to attack him again and like, this is over when I say it's over.
I hope Kane's not watching. I'm so nah, fuck it. I'm actually telling him to go clip that. No, that's you. You do this to me all the time. I'm so 50. I'm just gonna say 53. 50. And you're in the group chat, so all I'm gonna say is 53-50. Eilidh's Irish accent on stream. I put that in the group chat.
It's a Finn Balor impression, people.
If Keith sees this, you're in trouble.
They stopped manufacturing the cloth that I'm cut from.
If Greg sees this as well and he watches this, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking piss myself.
That's what he'll do. That's what he'll attack him in a couple of weeks and go, "This is over when I say it's over, fella."
Keep going.
He's not gonna say fella. That's Sheamus's thing.
Please keep going. I'm enjoying.
It's an angry Bray accent, isn't it? And the fact you say that, and then Priest will beat him.
Oh. He's seen the chat.
Lovely. You know something, Keaton? Let me know if it's good. I thought it was pretty good. I felt pretty good.
It's just fucking brilliant. I just can't help.
You're probably right. Yeah, that's the thing.
It is fucking dope. But it is, you're absolutely, I agree. I don't disagree at all.
Yeah.
I think the one thing about this whole, my biggest problem now though, when you look at the pitch of either Rhea Ripley on her own or Damien Priest on her own or the Judgment Day,
his own, unless there's a
I think
you stand a strong queen if that's the case, but you know,
absolutely. I think the biggest problem now though is you've had Balor lose to Priest. Priest isn't going to be bothered about a rematch. He isn't even going to be interested. Balor will have to physically pursue him if he wants a rematch.
Yeah.
If they do this, you've just wasted another month of possible creative where you can change things, where you can do a bit more. I would absolutely detest it if they actually went and did a second match, because it generally comes up to the point of why? There's nothing. You've actually got Finn Balor. You actually have nothing to gain now.
Yeah.
You've lost everything. You may as well just ask Becky Lynch back out for another date. Oh, sorry.
Who gives half a shit if he eliminates Priest from the Rumble?
It means nothing.
I don't care.
Yeah, he could eliminate him from the Royal Rumble, and I'd be like.
But also, there's so many turn storylines going on at the moment. Like, you don't know what's happening with Woods and Kingston. And
Xavier Woods is 100% going to turn heel.
Yeah,
I liked what they did on Raw.
You can't just keep taking tag teams and going, we're going to break you up. We're going to break you up. We're going to break you up. Like, stop.
Never going to break you up.
Yeah, basically, we're never going to never break you up. We're always going to break you up.
I like that they're at least doing something different with the New Day. That had to change.
Well, yeah, but if that's your turn, then that's your turn. You keep Judgment Day together. You just wait, because you can't have everything. Because then you get to AEW territory, where just everyone turns on everyone, everyone's friends with everyone, or turning on everyone.
But that's not just. But to be fair, that's not just AEW territory, because WWE have been doing this for years. WCW did this for years. And
yeah, but I feel like
wrestling.
It's actually more evident in WWE at the moment that everyone is just turning on everyone. And if you do too many at the same time, you try to shake things up too much, too often. It's not believable. If you have something like just a normal heel turn where you're like, oh wow, okay, that was pretty good. That, like the Drew heel turn, for instance. You'd be like, I didn't see that coming. Okay.
Yeah.
When he went after Jey Uso, that made perfect sense. It was the only real main heel turn at the time, and it was great. What this tells me, and it's kind of alarming as a massive E-drone,
is they don't know what they're doing.
There's too many turns, and it feels like they don't know what they're doing. I mean, if you cross the street to SmackDown, obviously Kevin Owens just did what he did. Now, I wanted a heel Kevin Owens, but heel Kevin Owens would mean more to me if Judgment Day were still together, because you don't need this many turns at the same time. It starts to feel too much like a show.
I also think as well, they didn't know who was actually. It was almost as if they didn't know who to turn.
Yeah.
And I think that's it's not the sense of there's too many turns. They didn't know who to turn. I think they were worried about who to turn the Judgment Day. I think they were terrified, and that's why they went with Balor, because he's already more tried as a heel. I think they were afraid to continue with Priest as a heel.
It should have been Priest, though.
Yeah.
Priest should have lost to Gunther and then blame Balor for not being there. And Balor could have been like, am I going to do the Finn voice again? Balor could have been there like,
Remember
you're
this?
talking about how I should have been there for you. When you were there for me, you cost me the match twice against Seth freaking Rollins.
That is
That would
really
make
good.
sense.
You're doing that accent for the rest of the show now.
I'm fucking not. I'm telling you.
Guys in the chat, if you want Ailey to do that accent for the rest of the chat, put a thumbs up emoji if you want Ailey to do the accent for the rest of the show. Thumbs down if you don't want her to do it. And if there's a majority,
I don't care.
You can't disappoint our audience. If there's thumbs up in the chat, you're doing the accent.
Let's go to the main event though.
We still see you. That's see.
No.
Yep. Now we just need to wait for James and anyone else in the chat. Get your thumbs up because
I'm not doing this. Accent. No.
I want to ask one thing before we do, because obviously we did discuss how awful Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley is. See, James had another 4. See, you've lost. We've spoke about the madness behind Priest Balor. We've spoke about the Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke about just how weird Bayley is. I want to just quickly bring up 2 things as well from that match and that entire thing that was actually 3 things that were really unnecessary. 1, whoever told Nia Jax to do a Hurricane Rana needs to be fired.
It was impressive that she even tried it, to be fair.
I do as well. I credit her for trying. But nobody should be telling her to do that, especially herself if she is doing it as well. That is brain dead. Secondly, please don't set up like Kane or The Undertaker. You don't have the appeal. Even though you've been good since New Year, please don't. It's just not funny. And 3, they wasted Tiffany Stratton's cash-in moment. They should have done it at Bad Blood.
No, I told you, Nia Jax was going to win.
Yeah, I agreed with you. But I had Nia Jax anyway. But
it was just going to be Nia Jax wins and Tiffany doesn't cash in. That was it.
It really, you can tell that at least the one thing is that that relationship now is sour. I quite like that.
Also, why doesn't Nia Jax just do what Priest did and watch a fucking replay? This is the problem when you use replays.
I would love to know who made that call.
Who went? Tell you what, give it a go.
Yeah. Oh, last thing, because obviously TNA runs pro wrestling. Shout to Abyss, by the way. It was Abyss that directed Punk versus McIntyre.
Yeah, I know that.
See, that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying TNA goes global.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get that
out. I'm surprised he didn't get stage fright with how big he was. Like, whoa, fans! Oh shit.
He's been in front of big crowds before.
Yeah, maybe like 40 people, maybe.
No, he was in 10 crowds. Behave.
So The Rock main evented Bad Blood.
Bad Blood.
Because before it, we got this match was exactly what I said it was going to fucking be.
Yeah,
Cody and Roman had to win. It was more about Cody and Roman teaming than the actual match, and it was more about The Rock coming out at the end than anything else. Jacob Fatu got on my fucking nerves again.
Solo bored me. Cody did nothing.
This dickhead, Jacob Fatu, I don't like him. I don't like him for a shoot. I hate whenever they book anyone that size as well. Because, as I say, Omos is always my let-off for a no-sell. You're the size of fucking Omos, sure. You no-sell that shit. You're the size of Bobby Lashley. If we're talking about like muscular, sure, you get drop kicked, you fucking brush it off. Braun Strowman, you fucking brush it off. Sure, you've been ridiculous with it, Braun Strowman, because I always go back to that Hell in a Cell match where you ate 5 finishers in a row and then didn't get pinned, but then got a spear off Roman Reigns, and that was you, dick. But anyway,
dick.
Yeah, dick. But Jacob Fatu is not an impressive size. And all we're being told is that he's crazy so he doesn't get hurt. I don't think that's a good reason for why things aren't injuring you. He's so crazy. He just won't stay down. No, but you see, being crazy doesn't mean things don't hurt you. Because if you were a fucking psychiatric ward patient and I took a shotgun to your head, you would still die. So if you eat moves on the outside, including a fucking crossroads, sell the son of a bitch. And I get it. Commentary's all in on it. They all love this. They all love that Jacob Fatu is a little no-selling shite. I hate it.
But this is another thing, and this is where you need to be very, very fair here.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that he has been told to do this by creative.
I know.
And if you actually look at it, and this is a fundamental thing, you watch his matches from MLW, I've only ever seen him no sell in MLW once, and that was in a match with Alex Hammerstone.
He's been told to
and I would let him no sell. I would let Hammerstone no sell.
He's been told to remain untouchable, and this weird nothing hurts me sort of thing, because we know that they want to do Roman versus Jacob. We know that they want to do Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu.
Should have done it Saudi and get over with.
But it doesn't make any bloody sense that nothing's going to really hurt him. I mean, okay, the table thing did, but quite frankly, if he got up after that, we're in mud show territory. Population Tony Khan. We're in mud show territory at that point. So I'm glad that he sold the table spot, but you cannot fucking eat a crossroads on the outside and just get up. I looked at my phone. When Jacob Fatu was getting attacked on the outside, I looked at my phone. I don't care, because he's not going to sell it. He's not even registering that the moves are hitting. So
this is where it really is. I know I've defended the no selling. I like no selling in elements. I don't like it when it goes like there's a decree to it. But he's not the only person that this week alone in particular has no sold just WWE alone, which is quite shocking. Now I agree. I think no selling a finish of any sense, whether it be in the ring or outside the ring,
it just makes Cody look piss weak. Like, why isn't Jacob Fatu going for the title if he can just eat offense like that?
He's not the only champion that's been made to look weak this week. Funnily enough. Gunther as well.
No. Goldberg, that match is going to be great.
No, not. I swear, you stop. Fuck Goldberg.
Look, right.
Bret Hartman's right.
Okay, Reece,
right.
It's John Moxley versus Goldberg. Fixed it.
No, fuck Goldberg.
No, I fixed it, though. John Moxley's going to do it.
No, Goldberg nearly killed the goal. Fuck Goldberg. I hope someone hits him with a Jeep. Fuck Goldberg.
Look, my neck's sore, Brett, but I'm not crying about it 20 years later.
I wasn't referring to just Brett. I was also referring to a horrible botch in Saudi.
Oh, right. Well, yeah but
there's GOAT technical wrestlers and there's GOAT characters.
They were both out their face, to be fair.
Yeah,
out their face on all, basically.
If you had to work with Goldberg, I'd be out my face as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Panch says, I hope Sammy doesn't join the Bloodline feud. He will. He's gonna. But he also again pissed me off. Because he did the exact same thing that you said about no selling when he no selled that power bomb.
Thing is, right, isn't the more natural thing to do right now Roman, Rock, Jimmy, and Jay versus Solo, Jacob, Tama, and Tanga? Do that at War Games. Have Roman think Rock's still on his side, and then have Rock turn.
See, I had another idea.
Because why would Rock want these fucking hangers on? He knows Solo's shit because he was around at Mania when Solo was shit.
Mm-hmm.
So why would he back Solo? Why would he look at what happened at Mania and go, Solo, you're right?
Agreed. And that's why I had another idea. Also, can I just say, shout out to the guy on Monday Night Raw that was wearing the Pokemon hat when Sexy Red was on, because he looked like he wanted to leave, because she was boring him to death. Shout out to him for the fact he also sat through that 10-woman tag and he looked like he
Why
wanted
is
to die.
Sexy Red there?
No idea. She's an absolute disgrace.
Well, the most relevant thing she's done in the past year is get bodied by Kendrick Lamar.
She likes it apparently. Not that I would know.
Well,
For her, because it's not my style. But I put this week, funnily enough, on the community tab 5 days ago, and I actually hope they do it, because I would do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've not actually spoke to me about this yet, so this is interesting. But I put that up.
Oh, I did see this, yeah.
And I actually would run this.
So I hate it.
You horrible human.
Let me just say, I hate it because, right.
Because there's so many Samoans.
Yeah, I really do my best to make it not sound like that, okay?
But we know it's true.
You can't just keep bringing people in on this bloody heritage, like island heritage storyline, because when it ends, where are they going to go? You literally just ended Judgment Day and you don't have anything for the one person you have to have something for.
Yeah. I like the idea of a three-headed war because
we can't trust you to end a faction and keep one guy strong. How the fuck are you going to end a feud with 12 people in it?
I know.
And have all 12 go on and do something. It's not going to happen. It cannot happen.
I just like the idea of the three-headed war because one thing you can actually establish is just the two leaders and the one dragon who's like this.
I like that I haven't even heard of them, if I'm honest. I mean, Rock and Hikuleo. I've heard of them. And then one of them is a massive kaiju that terrorizes Tokyo, I think.
No, I was referring to Rock, Roman, and Solo. Solo's the dragon who's like this.
Yeah, no. But what I mean is, when you talk about Rock's group, it's him and Hikuleo, and then a massive kaiju.
Well,
huge monster terrorizing Japan, right? Godzilla.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah, I suppose. Although, to be fair, when you look at it, WWE shouldn't be bringing the Zilla Fatu in anymore anyway. After what he's been done, he's been deliberately no-showing events that he's been advertised to. Whilst Booker T's obviously trying to make sure that he goes there. Like, Booker T's coming out everywhere he can saying, by the way, I'm actually getting him ready for WWE. Like, who cares? Like,
well,
he can get it on his own.
Have you ever tried to move when you're like 500 feet tall? It's tough.
Will you stop?
No. I'm not going to stop until this joke lands, and I don't care how many times we have to circle the runway.
No, it's funny. I like the fact you're doing a Godzilla.
No, but it needs to land in the audience. Guys, petty laugh at my Godzilla jokes, and we'll move on.
It's funny. I'll give you that.
But, yeah, Rock wanted to main event this pay-per-view, so he said, I'll come out at the end. But now we know that Rock's throwing his toys out the pram, because apparently he's not available for WrestleMania.
That's correct.
Right. So he's going to betray the fans, because
that's all right.
I've been a fan of his after Mania that him and Cody is the story.
Yeah.
It's not fucking going to be if he can't be arsed showing up.
That's why I love the guy.
You should do the match at Rumble, have Cody squash him, move on.
There's no way that Cody would squash him.
Squash him.
Cody could squash a bug in this case. That's
ruin him.
They wouldn't
Whip him with his stupid fucking Muhammad Ali title belt.
As funny as that sounds, they would still never do it.
Well, no, because Rock would need to show up.
No, because Rock would pin him. he would just go full exec on his ass and be like, "See you later, title's mine, bitch," and then Cody would cry, and then WWE fans would cry, and then he'd have to win the title back Elimination Chamber, wherever that is.
But you're forgetting that Rock is shit now.
He's just the mic machine. That's it.
But he hasn't even really done anything on the mic recently. He's hardly there. He's going to come out probably tonight and cut a shit promo. Him and Roman will have a stare down again. Cody's got to deal with Kevin Owens. So now Roman and Rock, I guess, are just going to try and get to Rumble and settle their differences. Or Rock's going to declare himself against Roman in War Games. But again, I wouldn't do it that way. Because why, again, is Rock looking at this situation and going, yeah, Solo, you've been really good. You've been really good. You've lost to the guy that beat Roman twice with no reply, no rebuttal, no nothing.
Yeah.
You haven't really done anything to try and injure Cody. You've tried, but clearly it didn't work. But you know what? Yeah, Roman, who kept the belt for longer than anyone in this fucking family. Yeah,
100% patch.
100%.
I still like it.
But it's like you kept the belt for longer than anyone has in this fucking long, and you're the treasure of the family, and you know clearly you're the one that I'm so proud of. But nah, fuck you, Roman. I actually prefer Solo, who's got a really short North American title reign and a win over John Cena. That's it.
Who doesn't, to be fair, in this day and age?
Exactly. Well, but I said this when John Cena was coming back and putting people over. I was like, the more that you do that, the more you take the shine off John Cena. The more you have people go over AJ Styles, the more you take the shine off AJ Styles. The more people you have go over Randy Orton, the more you take the shine. I don't think Paul Heyman's going to be in the cage. As funny as that would be, I don't think so. Now there is
Paul Heyman's got a good record of getting mauled in cages. Just ask Brock Lesnar per angle.
One get out though, and you just said it. If Brock comes back representing Heyman,
but here's the thing:
you've got Roman, Brock, Jimmy, and Jay. You kind of get around it.
Okay.
I think if you wanted it to go back to Roman, yes. I think if you wanted it to go to The Rock, no.
Then no. Ideally, The Rock only wants to take that title off one person.
And it's Cody.
Yeah.
It
humiliation.
Should be Cody. The whole
humiliation tactic.
The whole point of this.
Roman
and Rock is the feud that we're building. It's not. Roman and Cody is clearly the one.
We already know that what is going to happen immediately following whenever Cody loses this title. The Undertaker's going to get his wish. Cody will turn heel. Taker will get his wish. Cody will turn heel.
Yeah. Well, speaking of turning heel, speaking of switching things up, speaking of I fucking told you so's, AEW. That was a good crowd. Really, really good stuff from this brand new TV deal. Title Tuesday. Good work, guys. Really good. What was it? 329,000? I know we don't get caught up in ratings discourse, but that's fucking shocking. That's half of the usual audience. Imagine a Premier League match at Old Trafford. And it's not at the usual 3 p.m. time that we play at. It's at 12:30 on Saturday. It's Friday night football. You play the Friday night game. You're at home. It's against like Crystal Palace. And I tell you that the attendance at Old Trafford is 30,000 people. What's your first thought if 30,000 at Old Trafford was the attendance for a Premier League game?
The Glazers are losing money finally.
Well, yeah, but in terms of the health of your fan base and your club, you'd be like,
still,
what?
Yeah, it's still a shock.
half the fan base just went, nah, I just don't want to watch this. And the thing is, as shit as Man United are, your fans are still turning up. I mean, I don't know how Keane does it. I know I've taken the piss out of his country's accent on this show, but
one more time.
No. I'm not your performing monkey.
What you are now. One more time. In fact, I've got a better one. If she's watching this, Rhiannon, if you're watching this, please put in the chat that she's got to do that accent again. Because she can't say no.
She will be watching. She can't stand.
Damn you traitor. Damn you traitor.
Can't stand wrestling, no.
It's
enough. Her contribution to this show is allowing me to do it. So there we go.
Claiming to cook me over an emerald belt, but yeah.
Well, she fucking did. But anyway, so yeah, like here's the thing: 30,000 people turned up to Old Trafford to watch this Premier League game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like because your fans still turn out even though you're shit. You still get like near enough 70,000 every game.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? In the dark, just so it doesn't sound like I'm clowning on you, the Emirates in the Wenger sort of last years and Unai Emery stuff, it was still like 57, 58,000.
Yeah.
You know, fans will still turn up to see the thing that they like. If fans stop turning up to see the thing that they like, it's because they don't like it. And yeah, exactly, James.
Yeah.
This is not like the 500,000 on Juneteenth, where we were like, well, this and that was happening. And, it's still 500,000. So, you add another 100,000 and it's not that shocking. This is half. This is under half of what they've been consistently drawing. They've been getting 680, 670, 690. I think an episode a few weeks ago got 710 or something, 720.
Yeah.
We've been consistently in there to the point where you would think, oh, they've got a consistent, loyal fan base. That's the sort of thing that Turner Broadcasting were probably going, yeah, okay, we've got this consistent viewing. And I get they're not in their slot. I get that part of it is up against NXT that's on a smaller network now than it was. Just saying. I mean, NXT on the opposite end of the scale, CW's got to be absolutely buzzing with that number. Over 800,000. And no, that's not going to last. But I think the CW know that.
Yeah.
Crazy first episode for NXT. But AEW suffer once again. And I suppose I want to throw a question at you because you watch it and I don't regularly. Okay. What's wrong with AEW's booking right now? Why aren't the fans sitting to watch it?
Here's the thing. I think when you're looking at a show these days of any form of media, like any content you watch, I think how it appeals is certainly important. And I get clowned heavy for being a TNA fan by every single cunt on this planet. And I don't care. But there's an appeal to what you're gearing towards. And then there's the appeal that isn't going to translate to anyone else. And they're going to clown it as much as they can. I think when you're looking at it from an objective sense, 329,000 is absolutely shocking. I don't think I think the worst thing about it as well is that's 329,000 without even promoting it, which is still not effective. So I think essentially the issue for me is promoting a show certainly is important, I don't think whoever they've got in charge of promoting shows is doing it well enough. I actually think booking-wise, I don't think booking is necessarily the problem. Because even with bad booking, you can still have good ratings. We've seen that time and time again from anywhere. You can have really good booking but bad ratings.
Well, AEW's always been booked like shit, but it had good ratings.
See, I would essentially disagree in the form. It hasn't always been like that. There's been times where it has been genuinely awful and it's made me want to turn it off. To be fair, every wrestling promotion has done that to me. TNA also did the same. Eric fucking Bischoff. But I think the fundamental flaw is how you get on the back of it and how you flip it, how you turn it around. I don't think the answer, ironically enough, is Tony Khan. I don't know who the answer is.
But he won't give it up.
Probably not. I think he should. I've said it for so long because I don't hate the guy. I don't like the guy either. Like I don't know him personally, so I don't have like that kind of like ilk. I just have critiques, or I have praisals where praise needs to be made. That's just what I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when I'm looking at it in that way, I think as an owner, I actually think he's fine. Because no owner doesn't love something they do if they're not investing all that money, time, and effort. The amount, and he said himself, the amount of hours he does to write shows for Dynamite, the lot, Collision, the Ring of Honor stuff, which to be fair, I don't think this. I've still said I don't think he needed Ring of Honor anyway. Ring of Honor was already dead, and that wasn't down to Tony Khan. Ring of Honor died because of COVID and lockdown, and nobody was willing to do anything about it, which is a shame. But I think for him as an owner, if you're investing that much time into a product, then clearly you love it. Now, I think he's the scum of the earth, and I always will. But I'm going to say his name. But Vince McMahon was the exact same. Vince was an absolute rip-off merchant for people and a twat, but nobody could deny that he didn't love his organization. The amount of time and effort he put into it, he absolutely did. And until things went wrong, Ted Turner for WCW as well, they all share that. I think the problem for Tony Khan is I think he loves it too much, where anyone theoretically who might have another pitch, where it doesn't actually change the culture of the company at all, doesn't destroy it, it just adds it a little bit. I think that's the thing. I don't think AEW is fundamentally bad. I don't. I think there's some things that fundamentally may not be needed. I can name 10. But essentially, an owner should just be the owner. Doesn't have to be head booker. Doesn't have to be.
It is his vanity project, so of course he is going to book it.
Yeah, and I can see why. I mean, I've already mentioned his name. Like he did it, Vince did it WWE for years, but then he also brought in writers. He brought in a creative team to have. He has brought in, Tony Khan has brought in writers. We've seen, like he's said this himself. So if he's brought them in, are they writing for specific people? And I'm going to use that comparison very strongly. Brian Gerwitz was criticized for years for writing specifically for Rock, Edge, Christian, Kurt Angle in the early 2000s. He was heavily criticized for it. So he tweaked a bit. He started writing for more people. I want to know who the writers
if
are
you've
writing
got a
for.
team of writers, you could have a team of writers that are like each assigned a group of people.
Yeah. And I think that's actually very effective. That's great booking.
I mean, it's tricky because obviously some people want to write that their person's on top all the time.
Yeah, I think there's a balance that certainly is effective.
The thing is, Tony Khan isn't getting that balance. Tony Khan's just having all his favourites win.
I think I actually think, and you would see a major difference. It's just my belief. I think you'd see a major difference. If he was just an owner, but he actually oversaw Dynamite and Collision, Shockwave, whether that's going to be on FS1, I think it is going to be on FS1 in the States.
Yeah.
If he's still overseeing those as an owner, but he's got a creative team writing for both shows, he can still approve sign-offs. He can still say if he wants to make a change or two to something like a format, that's fine. Ironically enough, when you look at company to company to company, the three companies in North America, WWE, AEW, and TNA, because NXT is still within WWE, it's still one big branded roster. When you look at it top to bottom, the rosters actually fit the organization. They fit where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which is actually good. That's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's making sure you get the balance of you've got them where they need to be, but the owner just needs to say, this is where you are. You are my organization. You are who I'm building it around. We want to get to here. All he has to do is just sign off in that way. Now, Catherine's made a comment saying there's nothing wrong with AEW's booking. People are brainwashing to thinking WWE is a standard. Those same comments, by the way, I also want to say.
But here's the thing. Okay, you go first.
I was just saying that same comment was also truthfully stated when the NWA was doing a lot better than the WWE in the late 80s. Even though you had the likes of Savage and Hogan, the NWA did far better, compelling product because they didn't insult their fans.
So here's where we
and
come
I'm not saying either insult their fans anyway.
So something that I spoke about a few weeks ago. So I think I've mentioned on a couple of shows recently.
Yeah.
See, the problem is WWE are going to get away with more suspect booking because they have a more casual fan base, generally. More of the casuals, because any casual wrestling fan will go to WWE. You don't have a casual AEW fan. It doesn't exist. You know?
I don't think you... You know what's weird? And this is actually the hardest thing now. How does an organization actually create a casual fan nowadays? Because
you be the biggest game in town. You be the one that people just randomly come across. You be the one that had Hulk Hogan. You be the one that had The Undertaker. You be the one that had John Cena. It's the same way that no one so The Simpsons obviously has its diehard fans. There are also casual Simpsons fans who, it's Channel 4, 6 o'clock, Simpsons is on, I'll stick that on. You know, it's there, I'll watch it. Football clubs have casual fans. I'm not a diehard Arsenal fan. If they win, it's fantastic. It doesn't ruin my weekend. If they don't, you know, it's great to hear that they're doing well. I'm a casual Rams fan, you know, watch NFL this season. It's not going very fucking well at all, but we look at that Super Bowl from a few years ago and we just go, it's all worth it. Let's just bear through the pain. And of course, bear is apt because of who we lost to the week before last. Lovely. But you have casual fans for things that are big. The problem is the problem is AEW are not mainstream enough to create a casual fan. So when you talk about how people are always going to be talking about how WWE get away with suspect booking, and we've spoken about the suspect booking on this show tonight at length, they're going to get away with it because they have the major stars, because they have the major names, because people can look at Roman Reigns and do that. People can look at Cody and do that. People can look at Jay and go that. People can do these things. They see them randomly. They pop up on their morning TV shows. They pop up in adverts. They'll hear things on the radio about how WWE's coming to their town. They'll see things on TV. Yeah. Twitter and YouTube will be filled with, look at what happened on the wrestling. Look at what Punk and Drew did on the wrestling. Look at what Seth Rollins did on the wrestling. Look at Cody Rhodes on the wrestling. Twitter and this mainstream sphere does not fill with AEW. AEW cannot penetrate it. How do you penetrate it? I don't fucking know. I don't have a clue. Because you're either there or you're not. You can't make mainstream overnight. You would think that some of their stars would make them mainstream, but they're absolutely not. And when you talk about you need to get over casual fan, and I know that, this isn't an opinion only shared by you, Catherine, you can't get over the value of the casual fan, because we'll go back to Man United. There are 60 to 70,000 people in the stadium every week. Now, of course, some of them are away fans, so let's say 55,000 Man United fans.
Yeah.
It's not those 55,000 fans that keep the club going. It's the millions across the world. It's not the 2,000 or 3,000 that go to
I'm not reading that comment out. No. For Jesus
I
Christ.
lean forward over my laptop to read it.
I know Catherine has that crush for Tony Khan, and I absolutely respect it. But I just can't.
Well, all right then. Yeah, I can see why you're not reading that.
I respect it. I just can't. I'll burst into 100 laughs. I would not be able to control.
I'm more crazy for Finn Balor, fella. Not got a carb in his body.
Can't take this anymore. Call the cops. Call the FBI. Call Homeland Security. Call the army. You're a bastard, Catherine. You're a bastard.
The bastard pack.
Quite literally, you're.
By the way, he's gone again. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, it's pack. He's gone.
How so?
Well, because he'll lose and he'll be off TV again. It's about that time. It's about time that he went back to Newcastle. He left the oven on. What's happened now?
You stop.
Right, just.
Jesus.
What? What's wrong with saying he left the oven on?
These are just mental. You lot are fucking mental.
We're crazy for it, fella.
Aye, fella.
He doesn't even say fella. That's the other one.
Aye.
That's the angrier one. That's Sheamus.
Botch.
Balor's more like this. Balor, it comes from deeper within. Speaking of deeper within, no.
I'm not fucking joking on my Pepsi Max. No,
I know. Right. Anyway, AEW, fan problem. No one's watching. Big TV deal. No one's watching. Let's get back on track. I mean, all you can do at this point as AEW is try to keep your 600,000 to 700,000 fans on board. Like I said years ago, they jumped the shark when they brought Punk in. They had to keep Punk because clearly no one else is going to do it. I mean, unless they somehow manage to convince The Rock to do something after this, or they manage to convince Stone Cold to go and do something after this.
Catherine. Right, that's it. That's it. For the rest of the show, I'm gonna look like this.
He's
For the rest of the show, I'm gonna look like this.
just trying to get the purity from the title belt.
I should have.
Is that not a replica of the one Shawn Michaels wore naked?
No, thankfully not.
No, it's a different belt, right? Okay.
Yeah, that was. Funnily enough, the one that Cody wants to bring back.
Yeah.
Wing,
But yeah, I think the best AEW can hope for is just to keep the 700,000 fans that they've got. Because I don't see how you add more fans now. I don't see how you generate more interest.
I think that's a fair, interesting comment as well, because this is one thing I wanted to ask. This is a fair point by Catherine, and you know what? Yeah, it is a specific type of fans of wrestling, and it is fine.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if it's for those specific types of fans, and I watch a large variety of wrestling, so frankly, anything can appeal to me in the right way. I just like what I've always liked watching wrestling. I've been a wrestling fan for 25 years.
Anything, huh? Anything can appeal to you.
Wrestling wise, you behave. When I look at it from the sense,
this one might get flagged.
If it's for a specific fan type,
you may have to cut some of this.
Oh no, that's not my style. If it's a specific fan type, then why does it constantly have to be berated? This is just a genuine question. This isn't just trying to. This isn't a sense to piss or provoke or any shape or form.
No, go for it.
But if it's a specific type of fan that watches it, then why does it constantly have to be berated by the fan that doesn't want to watch it or care for it? You know? So this is a sense, not in a way of forcing them to watch it to experience new things, but purely if they want to watch professional wrestling, but they've got their own way of professional wrestling and they've got their own mind to it. Why would you go to watch a different organization? And I'm not saying don't watch AEW or WWE or anything like that.
I get you.
But if you've got a specific way of wrestling that you like to watch, why would you watch the other just to berate it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying don't criticize it or anything like that, but there's people that actively who are just pure hardcore WWE fans.
You know why?
They'll watch a Dynamite just to berate. And to be fair, I'd be the same for a hardcore Dynamite fan, like AEW fan. That's if you just watch Dynamite, you just watch Collision, like whatever. But if you're watching that, why would you then watch Raw or SmackDown just to then berate? If you are criticizing it because it doesn't appeal to you, then fine. Criticizing is fine in the right way. But when both sides of the fan base berate it, but they don't actually understand what they're berating, it kind of defeats your own opinion.
Okay.
So, like, for example, like,
why do Man United fans berate Liverpool? Why do Liverpool fans berate Man United?
Because we hate them and they hate us.
That's what's happening here. There are no. That
is so far now for unrealistic
wrestling fan stopped in 2019. This wrestling fan disappeared in 2019, and it disappeared because of AEW. This is the weird thing. AEW caused the tribalism to get to this point. Because before, it just wasn't. Not this many people were watching Ring of Honor and saying, look at what they did, that's ridiculous, that's stupid, I'm so glad I've got John Cena on Raw. Not this many people. Not this many people were watching TNA out of hate. Not this many people were watching New Japan out of hate. People were still doing it, but not that many, you know? The problem is that Tony Khan promised the world. He did not start by saying this is going to be for the specific type of fan. Tony Khan opened the pitch with this is an alternative. This is going to be better than WWE. That's what he said. That was the war that he started. If you say that you are going to start a war with WWE, expect WWE and its loyal fans to have a problem with that. So from 2018, 2019, and even before, if you don't like what the Bucks did with regards to mocking WWE's stuff, and if you found that really indie and outlaw and hokey, you already hated the Bucks, but then this new company comes across and shits on everything you love. It shits on everything you love. If you're a diehard WWE fan in 2019, things were not going well, but you didn't need this arsehole to show up because it was done in the complete wrong tone. Tony Khan didn't start this saying, come away from WWE. Well, that was the thing. He was trying to get you to come away from it. He didn't start it with, this is wrestling for everyone. If you like WWE, you'll like us. If he did that, WWE fans would have been more receptive because they would have basically went, oh, okay, so you're like Ring of Honor. You're offering me another thing that I might want to watch. Instead, Tony Khan went, it's my way or the fucking highway. You either watch my shit or you stay an E-drone. That was Tony Khan. That was the Bucks. That was Cody. That was Kenny. That was Jericho. That was Pac. That was all of them. That was Britt Baker. That was all of them. They were all on this company line. And the problem is, in 2019 and 2020, when WWE was fucking shite, yeah, that's going to work. Especially when you're in your first 2 years as a promotion, because in your first 2 years, you've got all your good stories to tell. You had MJF and Cody, but also just generally, everything was fresh. Everything was new. We were learning about all these people. You weren't signing a new person every week. So we could adjust to your roster. We could figure out who was who, why they were there. But you ran out of good stories in 2021 for the most part. You had one good feud per year since then. And WWE fans didn't forget what AEW said about WWE. So from the moment that you had Le Dinner Debonair, from the moment you had the bloody pizza cutter match with Nick Gage, the moment you had all these Stadium Stampede stupidity things with the stuff in the fridge with the dead pig hanging from the roof, when you had the chair room with the blue spotlight, when you had Matt Hardy nearly die on pay-per-view and the match keep going, all of these things, WWE go, and this motherfucker said he was better than us. That's all it is. It's the same as when Man United say that they're better than Liverpool and then go and fucking lose. It's the exact same thing. Obviously, Liverpool are going to laugh at that. They're going to go, and you think you're better than us. It's like when Tottenham get on their high horse about Arsenal, and Arsenal are like, and? Like, you think you're better than us? You think you can step to us, sort of thing? It's not.
I think this is no problem within wrestling because this has been on with wrestling for decades.
There is no cure for it. Tony Khan made his bed. He can only lie on it now. He can't fix it. He's tried to fix it. He said that he'd be open to a collaboration with WWE. It's too late now. WWE don't want it, and WWE fans don't want it. And this promotion that you could have very easily given the same tone as a Ring of Honor or a TNA and just existing in its own right, you, Tony Khan, had to poke the bear one too many times. And when the going was great, it was great. When you were on top of NXT week after week after week after week, and you were loving it, and Jericho was going out there calling himself the demo god, and you had all of that, and you were being super fucking smart about it. When the going's good, the going's great. But
Disagree on.
when the going isn't great, people remember. When Man United won 20 fucking Premier Leagues, people remember that. That's why Man United are still discussed in the media by everybody. That's why every football fan loves to take a shit on Manchester United, because they used to be good. AEW, you used to be good. You used to be worth respecting, but you also completely shat in the face of the fans that you might have ended up with. Because if you just weren't so aggressive against WWE, you could have got 200,000 or 300,000 fans extra. Just from people going, I like wrestling. You're telling me this is more wrestling? Oh, I'll watch that. I'll give that a go. Cody Rhodes had to break the throne. Tony Khan had to do what he did. And the thing is, they didn't even relent from this position either. Will Ospreay had to come out and basically in his debut promo call out Triple H. You've had people mentioning WWE stars for weeks on end in AEW because they're trying to keep this idea alive. But the more that they brought up WWE, the more you realize this isn't a war thing. This is, you guys have to say this because they're winning. And it's kind of sad. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to mock AEW like this. But Tony Khan created a fucking monster in me that just cannot take him seriously. Because he didn't allow me to take my shit seriously. He told me that WWE was a joke. So I watch his promotion. There's the fucking joke.
Fair. This is also what I was telling WWE fans back in 2008, 2009 when they were trying to claim they were better than TNA when they weren't. But this is the problem you've got as a whole with wrestling, and fundamentally enough, like for me, it's not the discourse for me because I don't measure it on that, but I know people do. They will measure it on ratings. There is one significant there. So be it. You know what? Fine. For me, when I'm watching a show, I'm not watching it going, you know what, this segment probably got a 1.1 or this probably got a 0.7.
Yeah.
I'm watching a segment going, actually, did I enjoy this?
But did WWE care as much about ratings before AEW started trumpeting about them? Well, you wouldn't hear about WWE's ratings in 2017 and 2018.
They still always. I don't think no company doesn't care about ratings. Like they
but they wouldn't mention them. No one was tweeting like this mad discourse about the WWE ratings. It's now literally about WWE is this much better than AEW because of ratings. But if it just didn't happen and they didn't state themselves as competition, it's like debuting as a boxer and going after Tyson Fury in match 1. Why did you do that? Start a feud with TNA. Then you might have something. You know? Pick a dog in the fight that you could maybe take on. You weren't going to spawn a company in 2019 and take a fan base. Some of them were literally watching when Hogan was active. It wasn't happening. And he's deluded. And that's what killed his company, or killed his chances of being anything. This is what they are now. I said it last week. He can fund it. This is what they are now. They get their fans, and that's fine. And they've got their specific type of wrestling, and that's fine. They could probably have had more fans if they didn't poke the bear.
I think there is certainly an element of that for sure. There was times where they didn't necessarily have to. I also think, to be fair, there's times where it's the other way round, and I'm like, you don't have to do this either.
Who poked first?
To be fair, two wrongs don't make a right, regardless.
No, but would WWE have started a feud with AEW? Would they have bothered?
Considering how petty wrestling bookers can be,
the first mention of AEW on a canon Raw show was when Sami Zayn was hinting at having a secret. The first mention of WWE on an AEW show, I wouldn't accurately be able to tell you because it was too fucking common, too regular. They did it all throughout the fucking launch events. They maybe mentioned, I don't think they mentioned it on All In, but certainly Double or Nothing, because, you know, John Moxley then had to come out and say, like, oh, you know, the Emerald is dead, man.
Yeah. But I've seen, like I said, I've seen petty shit from all wrestling companies for no reason. And I can...
Yeah, completely.
And there's no need. Like for example, like Kurt Angle is one of my goals. But they made Kurt Angle clown on the company that he was actually their greatest champion. Kurt Angle is the greatest champion in TNA history. And he was made to clown on them live on Raw. For no reason.
Yeah.
No reason at all.
Well, it was because smart fans got the joke.
It's not even about a joke. It's still the element of clowning.
Yeah, but the whole thing was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens wanted the job, and he said, I hear TNA's hiring.
It's still pissed off TNA fans.
It did, yeah, but there's only like 40 of them, so it's...
Well, you stop.
Seriously, I'm just poking this bear.
Seriously, stop. But and to be fair as well, and I can go on further. New Japan with All Japan as well in the 90s literally caused an absolute bloodbath. Triple A and CMLL will never collaborate again because of 1994.
Then AEW and WWE will never collaborate.
No, and I actually, even if it did, I'm actually kind of glad they'll never collaborate. Even if this whole never thing happened between AEW and WWE in terms of like the whole going out against each other, I'm actually kind of glad as well. Because even if this never happened and it was just purely they're going about their business, they were going about theirs, it's still an us versus them thing. And we've seen what happens with us versus them. WrestleMania 31 is a prime example of us versus them when there was no need.
Yeah, you didn't need to bring Sting out there at all. I agree.
No, there was no need for him to get ripped to bits at WrestleMania in his first match. There's no need.
Sting shouldn't show up.
Nobody in WWE in 2015 is there to watch Sting versus Triple H because nobody cared about
Sting was just a shit Undertaker. So just give us Triple H versus Undertaker again.
But he was not essentially an Undertaker though.
He's a shit.
No.
Undertaker.
No, we've already had that at SummerSlam 94.
It might have been Sting.
No, it was Taker's best pal who is no longer alive.
Could be Sting though. He may have had a Sting mask.
No.
I don't know.
No. Just because you hate Sting doesn't, like, in the sense of like he's totally different.
Hate Sting. I just think he's horribly overrated.
So's many people in wrestling, but come on. Yeah, it hurt me as well, James, having to watch that match. Because I knew the minute that he was talking it down, like I knew that Baldy was gonna win. Like his ego is honestly bigger
What's
than
really
most fighters on
funny
his anatomy.
It's like you talk about this match in Mania 31.
It's
I
one
think
of them.
I think it was 14. So, like, you know, I didn't care. Triple H won. Woo!
Yeah. You had to win another match to cloud his ego.
Triple H.
He didn't actually. He has his moments.
Triple H.
Some
Great.
moments.
That video we did with Shawn Michaels was so funny.
He got a lot of people coming after him after Bad Blood for something that he said that was quite interesting. Although
I think I missed this, so we'll need to go soon. But quickly, hit me with that. What did he say?
That he was asked about who's on what show and who's on this and who's on that, and he said, "I don't see color or nationality," and it sparked social outrage.
Well,
have you not seen this?
No, I haven't.
On YouTube,
I haven't, but his booking. His booking is an example, though, isn't it?
It just went wild. But to be fair, though, like some of his stables are definitely booked on certain things that has to change. Like that's a problem in wrestling that has to change. If you're of a certain color, skin, or ethnic minority group, or whatever, like in the sense of it, like if you're Latino, automatically you've got to be part of a Latin stable. No, you don't. You can just be a brilliant Latin wrestler.
Well, why is Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, Prince Nana, and Swerve Strickland all going to be involved in the same feud? It's all throughout wrestling.
Yeah, it's not right.
It's not right.
Even if it looks fundamentally good, you're still.
It's not right to just book people together because of that. If they're already friends, like in Damage Control's case, cool.
Yeah.
Go for it. But
yeah.
If they're not already friends and you go, I'm noticing there could be some chemistry here. Like maybe don't book like that.
I think you're right. It is a fundamental issue with wrestling, but how they go about certain, like fundamental ways of running a show. I think they can do a whole lot better across the board. But
well, anyway, we will soon be talking about how we would run a show. I think it was actually James who commented. It
was
on your post about this. We are going to be discussing
genius idea, I might add.
Rosters. If we could take 5 wrestlers from it's the 80s, the 90s, the noughties, the 2010s, and the current decade up to now. Right, 5 from each.
Yeah. You've got
to book all the modern champs. Like you need you said a TV champ and a world champ. Do you need tag champ?
Here. You get a tag champ. I've went back on to get the post from the community tab. I sat there for a while just thinking, like, realistic, because I've done a Twitter post for it before, but then I thought, actually, let me see if I can morph it a little bit more. And this is what I came up with. There you go, everybody. I'll just zoom in for everyone so you can see a little bit better. Now, I've kept mine specifically for a show. That's why mine has not been answered. That's one funny eyeball. That's one scary face. I know, it's because I zoomed in, it went so high up. Fuck off.
Will he be able to find the post? Find out next time in the weekly.
There it is. Just a little bit. There we go. Aye. Fuck off, Raquel. Nobody likes you. Pokemon.
You've lost it again.
There we go. Yeah. There's some entertainment for you. There you go.
Yeah. So we'll be discussing this. So 25 men's wrestlers, but 5 from each decade.
And you can't.
Oh, go.
You can't say the same person twice.
For 2 decades, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't say You can't say Ric Flair for the 80s and then say Ric Flair in the 90s, even though Ric Flair
I
was
was
just as good.
so I was going to propose that we do this, but I was going to add an extra element.
Okay.
Okay. We go ABBA throughout the whole thing.
So we're now going for a penalty shootout. Okay.
And you're not allowed to draft the same person at any point. And at the end, we can reveal what our ideal rosters would have been. So that way, what we'll see at the end is who we took off each other.
All right. I'd like to add one little counter proposal to it that's universal. We're allowed to have one tag team the same, one single wrestler, and one women's wrestler. That's it. Because I feel like there may be one that we would have to maintain that we would equally like.
I think if need be, because I think the whole joy of it would be, oh, you take that and then it's like, no. But also like, because you're going to need backup plans. I mean, I'm hoping I'm not going to need a single backup plan because I've drafted my list and I'm hoping that I've managed to.
I've got mine.
Yeah, well, I've already got some backups in mind in case you say something. I put it all together and was like, yeah, but something, we should probably do this as like, because then I had another idea, which is we then take this on to universe mode.
Okay.
We give it a go and we basically see what our shows are doing. And it could become a thing that we do regularly.
I think the interesting thing about this, though, is
it could be a thing you do regularly. I just kind of check in, but essentially, you'd have you run in TNA, probably
successfully.
That's what you'll do. Run me as AEW, and I'll show that I can do it better than Tony Khan. And we'll see what we can do.
And the good thing about this, folks, if you're watching this, it's no company specific. There's we
can do anything. I mean, I hope you've got download space on your universe on your 2K because it might be required. But yeah, so this is what I was thinking when you said it. I was like, we could turn it into like basically a thing through your universe mode.
It would be peak.
Yeah,
and it would be enjoyable.
Well, let us know what you think of that. But obviously, we're going to do the thing anyway. We're going to talk about this anyway, and we're going to reveal who we would actually have in an ideal world. So we will draft them, and then at the end, we'll show who we both had to see who we took off each other.
You know what we'll do actually, and this will make it more fun. We were going to do the Hell in a Cell watch along. We ran out of time, but I think we'll still do it. I think we can still make it happen, yeah. But what we're gonna do, we've got Wrestle Dream to review. We're gonna review Wrestle Dream because obviously we do review every pay-per-view.
Fuck am I gonna watch that? That's this weekend, right?
It's tomorrow. Bound for Glory's on the 26th, so I'll review that. We will do
this tomorrow.
Yeah, did you not know that? Yeah, Wrestle Dreams this weekend.
I'm not ready to go back into the. I'm not ready to go back into the snake pit. I'm not ready to go back into the lion's den.
How about we do this proposal the week after Bound for Glory? So that's after October 26th.
So you want it to be our Halloween sort of special?
I was going to do a Halloween Havoc type watch along anyway, but I'm going to do a Halloween Havoc watch along regardless.
That'll be a Thursday night Halloween. Should we just stream on Halloween?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're gonna do Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero Halloween Havoc 1997 watch along.
Oh, it's such a good match.
We're gonna do the whole pay-per-view. Yeah, we're gonna do the whole fucking pay-per-view.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I don't think I've
I'm
definitely.
gonna be clever. I'm just gonna ask if I can work from home that day. I love Halloween.
All right, so you're gonna do it during the day.
Unfortunately, not this time. I'll just tape my face.
That's a shame.
But this is the. I'll just buy a lot of fucking sweets and be like, I've done my trick or treating, even though it's not true. I've just got to ask her. But this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this stream in 3 weeks' time. So we're gonna do Wrestle Dream review, Bound for Glory stuff. I'm gonna deal with as well. Actually, maybe you'll probably watch it, see if Joe Hendry actually beats Nemeth. That'll actually be a good match. But
we'll see. I mean, you've sort of ruined my night by reminding me I've got AEW to watch, but that's fine. We'll check it out.
Triple Threat Full Metal Mayhem, which they're calling a TLC, is on the card, which will be good. There's generally so much there. So literally, if you're listening now, so our special guest, by the way, would have been Rach, who watches us on the channel through Twitch, Raycon, as you know her. She would have been on tonight, who hasn't done streaming in a long time. We were getting her back out of streaming, back into the Streamverse, because we're that good. So we've got that. She'll be on next week, hopefully. If she's available, I'll keep asking. Because she was asking to come on, so I was like, I'll ask her next week. She couldn't do it tonight. We'll do a Halloween Habit watch along. We'll do our roster, the roster madness. Reece versus Eilidh. Don't pick bias, folks. If we're actually doing this based on picks, let's actually go full on, like, for once, this is war. And we're actually just going to have a laugh as well. But the full show will be our rosters, who gets what. And you've got to say at the very end who your champions are. You cannot say when your pick. For example, this is somebody who's unlikely to get picked. It's Kenny Dykstra, and he's your WWE champion. Nobody's going to believe you. Because nobody's stupid enough to put Kenny Dykstra as WWE champion, let alone pick Kenny Dykstra. So we're going to go our full picks. Then we're going to do our women's picks. Then we're going to say who our champions are. And then we're going to see who does what. I think that's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah. So I think we'll go for that. In any case, people.
And if anyone wants to join us, you're more than welcome.
People say I threw my back out at work. People say that I threw my back out by sitting in this chair and tutoring the next generation. People say that I threw my back out by tidying the office and creating the tidier setup. But we all know the truth, which is that I blew out my back when I carried this fucking show.
You fucking behave yourself.
In any case, I best get back to my fiance just now. So I will leave you all to it. I will unfortunately watch Wrestle Dream and we will have to talk about it.
We will.
But the Halloween Havoc stream sounds fun. The draft stream obviously sounds fun. Bound for Glory, I guess if I can access the camera from the gym hall that they're doing it in, I could maybe.
It's a 4,500 seated arena they've got for Bound for Glory.
That's that TKO money. That's WWE right there.
No, it's not. It's them on their own. It's not TKO.
In any case, I'll leave you to it just now, everyone. But I will catch you on the next one.
Absolutely. Co-host, guys, I'm just going to take a short intermission, but then I'll be back. And then we are literally just going to jump in and say, who's Bound for Glory? I'll be back in a minute. Drop some comments in, drop your questions. If you haven't seen the card, check the card out and tell me what you think. Back in a minute. I'm back. Hi, guys. No, not that. That is disgusting. Fuck's sake. Yeah, it's been confirmed. Masha Slamovich will will challenge Jordan Grace for the title. Moose versus Santana's confirmed. There's a triple threat for the tag titles. It's ABC and the Hardys challenging the System in a Full Metal Mayhem, which, as I've said, is their equivalent of TLC. Joe Hendry versus Nick Nemeth. We also have PCO versus Matt Cardona, both titles on the line, the digital media and the international world championships. Joe Hendry will challenge Nick Nemeth, of course, for the TNA world title. And also, I have a feeling about who this guy's going to wrestle in his first return to the organization. This man is confirmed for Bound for Glory as well. Vikingo will return to TNA against an unnamed opponent. But I have a feeling if he isn't booked against Eric Young, I think Vikingo's opponent will be Josh Alexander. And not gonna lie, I actually would really like that. I think it would be excellent. This will be good. I think this could potentially be the end of the ABC as a faction as well. As a tag team, but part of the faction Bullet Club. But I think as a tag team, I think this is over. I think you'll see a split between them potentially, unless they win. I don't think they necessarily need to win. They're just an outstanding. They're just an outstanding tag team, and they're one of the best tag teams in wrestling. Like, and that's not just a bias 'cause I'm a TNA fan. Like, genuinely, everybody likes ABC. Like, they are a very strong tag team. They work well as a team. You've got the dynamic of Ace Austin with Chris Bay, who is arguably the better of the two, but they complement each other so very well. And I think that's the key to a tag team. Is even if they're one slightly better, if you've got a good dynamic, you're going to get somewhere and you're going to succeed. Those two do. And I want to see where it goes. But if they split, surely it's Chris Bay that turns heel and he goes solo on his own as a heel. I think he just suits it well. Viking go to WWE, possibly. Sad thing for him is if he just falls into the Mexican Latin verse, then that doesn't help him either. I think it's just a one-off that he's there. I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll go WWE though. But I'm eager to see what happens regardless. Like, I'm eager. Like, because it retains my interest. Like, fundamentally, talent knowing where they go and what they want to do has to be important here. If he doesn't know, then that's a problem. Ideally, I think he'll know theoretically where he wants to be. And if he has his mind on a certain place, by all means do everything he can to get there. If not, then there's little to no point. I think Matt Cardona has to beat PCO. I think Matt Cardona on the Indies is unmatched. He is the best in the indie scene. But I think he's eager for a contract now. He hasn't had a contract to a promotion since NWA. I think he really wants a contract. I think Joe Hendry, it looks like the writing's on the wall for him to win against Nick Nemeth. But it's babyface versus babyface, so what do you get if he beats Nemeth? Does Nemeth still stay but turns heel to get the rematch? Or does he beat Joe Hendry because Joe Hendry is still uncertain of is he going to WWE in January? I think fundamentally TNA should be under Anthem. They should be locking them both down. Long-term contracts prevent the possibility of them leaving. And I'm not saying to stop them leaving, that's wrong. But Nick Nemeth is killing it as world champion. Joe Hendry's been killing it all year. Even from last year, he's killing it. The likes of ABC, Josh Alexander, Jordan Grace, they can't afford to lose talent like that. So you've got to hold them down the best way. But you've got to hold them down by actually saying, no, we've got a long-term vision for you. And we want to invest more into you than what we're currently doing, which is already a lot. They've got to sacrifice. I mean, Moose is on the longest contract in TNA history. Moose is literally signed until 2028. So if Moose can sign a contract like that, that shows that they're not fanning about. That they really do care about the long-term sense of their talent. That for me is really important. And I think that's what all companies have to do. If you've got specific talent that you really buy into and build around, you keep them. You absolutely try everything in your hardest not to lose them. Because once you do, it's hard to replace. I think that's why Masha will beat Jordan Grace though at Bound for Glory. I think Masha seems like a logical choice to take the title from, because if Jordan Grace does go to WWE, they need to have somebody that's just as good be champion, and Masha's brilliant. I think that's the key right now for companies in their projection of going forward, like their projective targets, their projective aims. You need to have your talent there that you want for the long run to ensure you're involved. And I think they can do it if they can get it right. And I believed in TNA. I've always believed in TNA. I'm a TNA fan. But I was also there during the shit periods where it was an absolute disgrace. And obviously, Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan. But I think there's a massive change now. And I think they've got it. They just have to believe in that and hold it down. I'd have Masha take the title off Jordan as well. Yeah. Who else is going to do it? I don't think anyone else is capable or ready. And I think that's the problem. That's what I think anyway. But what do you guys think? I'm going to say Bound for Glory right now. Hardys win the tag titles. Santana beats Moose. Cardona beats PCO, takes both titles. Masha beats Jordan Grace. Vikingo beats Josh Alexander if it's in fact Josh Alexander who's the mystery opponent. If it's not, Young versus Alexander, Bound for Glory. And I think Joe Hendry might beat Nemeth. If Joe Hendry is definitely going WWE in January, then Nemeth has to beat Joe Hendry. If Joe Hendry isn't going anywhere, then Joe Hendry should get the chance to be world champion and absolutely tie him down. I think it's going to be a very good match. I think it'll be very good. I'm eager to see how Bound for Glory is going to go. I think Bound for Glory this year will be excellent. Giselle Shaw still got a chance to cash in her Ultimate X that she won at Slammiversary as well. Because she did win the women's Ultimate X match as well for a world title match anytime she wants. She's still got that to do. Maybe she cashed in on Masha if she beats Masha, or if she cashed in on Jordan Grace. I'm eager to see who Speedball will defend his title against, because he's got a match against Leon Slater on Impact this week coming. So I'm eager to see if who will challenge for the X Division title at Bound for Glory. All in all, they're getting it right. Just have to keep going. Don't push them about. Don't waste them. I don't want them to have so much momentum and then they make a mistake and it goes wrong. Because they don't deserve that. TNA have went through enough. They've worked hard to get back to where they are. They deserve respect. If Nemeth retains, then I'll take it, James. I've got nothing against Joe Hendry either. I like either to be world champion. I don't mind. I think the Hardys win the tag titles if that means ABC disbands. Yeah, because I think Ace Austin can go back into the X Division title scene. You can put Chris Bay in the world title scene. He's better than Rich Swann. I would like it. And I'm all in. I'm bound for glory. They're bound for glory. But we are bound for a Steelchair exit. So, ladies and gentlemen, to those that have watched tonight, thank you very much. Thanks for getting amongst our comments. If you want to join our roster stream that we're going to do, I'll keep you all posted the day we're doing it. If you want to join any other stream, please just ask. Even drop in our comments or even during the live chat saying I'd like to join. You're more than welcome. But if you do want to join us for the roster thing that we're doing, just let me know. Have it prepared, obviously, because you don't want to come in blind. Actually have it written out, planned. And we'll definitely run with it. But in the meantime, I will see you all tomorrow. As obviously, we're not going to preview Wrestle Dream. We don't need to. We're just going to carry on with our game series. We might talk Wrestle Dream during the game series, though. But in the meantime, enjoy your weekend, guys. I'll see you later. And when you return, we'll have more fun. Bye-bye for now, guys. Thank you all for watching. You guys are unbelievably brilliant. It means the world.